I have been a Lamar Jackson supporter and defender for basically this entire show's existence. I think he's the third best quarterback in the league behind Mahomes, obviously number one, and Joe Burrow number two. And he's got two league MVPs. He's as special a talent, particularly obviously running the football, as they come underrated passer. But there comes a point in time. I've always used the analogy. I just gave a shout out to Daisy Ridley for the Young Woman of the Sea movie. So use Star Wars. I'm a massive Star Wars fan. That would be like if I watched episode 7, The Force Awakens, the first movie in the sequel trilogy, which was, even by sequel haters, by all accounts, a good movie. That'd be like if we walked out of the theater in 2015, or if we watched on Disney Plus, and they had already seen the first 6 Star Wars movies. And they're like, man, that was a good movie. I'm like, yeah, I agree, man. I enjoyed that. That was better than Revenge of the Sith. My Star Wars fans will get that reference. No, it's not. No, it's not. John Harbaugh. Listen, I love Lamar Jackson. Think he's elite. Think he's a top 3. And I campaigned harder than anybody that the man should have got his money long before he ended up getting his money. But his coach, John Harbaugh, went a bit overboard. Listen to what he said yesterday at Ravens training camp.
And I believe the Ravens, and we've always had a vision for Lamar Jackson. It started with Lamar's vision and his mom's vision when he said he was going to be a quarterback. He was going to be a quarterback in high school. He's going to be a quarterback in college. He's going to be a quarterback in the National Football League. The vision for Lamar Jackson, and it's a vision, it's something you see it like it's already happened. You can see it like it's already been done. The victory has already been won when you pour into a vision. And the vision that we have together is that Lamar Jackson is going to become and be known and be recognized as the greatest quarterback ever to play in the history of the National Football League.
That's obviously absurd on its face. When we put the actual data to it, it's even worse. I want to reemphasize this again. Lamar Jackson, in my mind, is the third best quarterback in football behind Mahomes and Burrow. He does certain things from an athletic standpoint that most people in the history of the game cannot do. Michael Vick could probably do some of it. Cam Newton, Steve Young could do some. It's a short list. But the one knock on Lamar Jackson that I conceded after the AFC Championship game lost to Kansas City, that at this point with him, it's going to be, I'll believe it when I see it, which is on Lamar's playoff success. So we could show you his playoff numbers. All stats provided by our friends at StatMuse. All graphics provided by my man Alfred Parsard Jr. This is Lamar Jackson in the postseason. 309 total yards. That includes passing and rushing. 9 total touchdowns, 9 total turnovers. He completes barely over 50% of his passes, 56.6. Has a passer rating right smack dab in the middle of average at 75.7. He has 2 wins. He has 4 losses. Lamar Jackson, simply put, is not very good in the playoffs. Also, too, and Nick Wright pointed this out on FS1, and shout out to him. In Lamar's 4 playoff losses in 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2023, his 4 losses in those seasons in the playoffs, the Ravens' output in terms of points scored in all 4 of their playoff losses with Lamar, every time, all 4 years, was the lowest points they scored all season. So we've criticized guys in the past for not performing the playoffs. It's a different level with Lamar Jackson. He's had his moments. The game against Houston years ago when he went on the road to Tennessee. Now that was during the COVID year, so limited capacity, stadium, but still meeting what was a very good Tennessee Titans team at the time. But Lamar, simply put, by and large, if you look at this entire scope of this 6-game playoff career, is not very good. And the first 6 years of his career, because John Harbaugh says, hey, Lamar Jackson can be the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. I think the greatest quarterback ever is Tom Brady. I think as much as Mahomes is gaining, he's got a ways to go. Tom's the GOAT right now as we sit here today. But I think Mahomes is number 2. I said if I'm going into Super Bowl week a season ago, I said that if he wins this game, wins Super Bowl MVP, he passes Peyton for 3rd all time. That after I saw how he won the game, saw how he performed in the 4th quarter and overtime, I'm like, screw it. He's ahead of Montana. Montana cannot do the things that this dude can do. from just an arm angle standpoint, the whole bit. And by the way, Mahomes is one of the smartest quarterbacks at the line of scrimmage I've ever seen in my life. So those are the two guys. Brady's done. Mahomes is, we'll see what he puts up when his career is all said and done. My guess is it'll be a spirited debate, Jordan LeBron-esque, by the time Mahomes is done when it comes to the GOAT argument in the game of football, particularly the quarterback position, obviously. Can we show you through their first 6 seasons? Lamar Jackson and Tom Brady. First 6 seasons. Now, Tom, you're going to see Lamar on the left, Tom on the right. For our audio audience, first 6 postseason, Tom has 26 tuds to Lamar's 9. Tom has 12 picks to Lamar's 9. But at the same time, Tom played, he played 11 more postseason games and only has 3 less turnovers. Completes a better percentage, has a better completion percentage, less yards per game, but we know Tom's not a dual threat guy. Better pass rating, 88-75, 14-3 playoff record to Lamar's 2-4. This we're talking about the first 6 postseasons of their careers. And obviously, Tom at that point had 3 Super Bowl wins and 4 Super Bowl appearances. Lamar has 0 Super Bowl wins, obviously 0 Super Bowl appearances. So that's the greatest quarterback ever, Tom Brady. Through his first 6, now we're talking about Tom's career. We're talking about his first 6 postseasons to Lamar's first 6 postseasons. Let's talk about the best quarterback in the game today, Patrick Mahomes, who we know is going to, when it's all said and done, he keeps his pace. It's going to be a hotly contested debate between Mahomes and Brady. Let's look at Mahomes' first 6 postseasons to Lamar's first 6 postseasons. It's like they played 2 different sports. Lamar 9 touchdowns, Mahomes 41. Lamar 9 turnovers in, mind you, 12 less games. 9 turnovers. Mahomes has 8 interceptions in that span. Lamar completes 56% of his throws. Mahomes essentially completes 68% of his throws, which is, by the way, the highest all time. Lamar has 309 yards per game. Mahomes does that just in terms of passing the football, 314. Lamar's a rating of 75 in the postseason to Mahomes' 105. Lamar's 3-4 in the 2-4 in the playoffs. Mahomes is 15-3. One of those 15 wins came against Lamar. Lamar's been to 0 Super Bowls. He's won 0 Super Bowls. Mahomes has went to 4 Super Bowls and won 3 of them. And in all 3 of those wins, he was the MVP of that game. For Lamar Jackson, I want to put this in the context of the data that I just showed you. For Lamar Jackson to become, and I never thought I'd be having this discussion, but for him to become the greatest quarterback we've ever seen, as John Harbaugh says, he's on the road to doing. Lamar's 27 today. He'll be 28 by season's end. Mahomes is about that age now. He's not even 30. Brady obviously retired at 45. As I always call Tom, the great outlier. Mahomes may still be great in his 40s. I don't discount that at all, given how he takes care of his body. But the overwhelming majority of quarterbacks, once the first digit of their age is a 4, they usually don't get better. That's why what Tom did was insane over the last 5-6 years of his career. For Lamar Jackson to be the GOAT, I want to put this in perspective. Over the next 12 years, going to his age 39 season, assuming he even plays that long, he's going to have to win at least 5 Super Bowl titles, because he's got to at least surpass Montana in terms of Super Bowl rings, just to get the 3rd all-time behind who I believe Brady won Mahomes to. 5 Super Bowl titles in 12 years. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's never happened in NFL history. Never happened in NFL history. And it, to me, signifies, like, we hear these discussions in the world of sports, like, oh, this guy could be. Do we realize when we talk about the greatest ever, do we understand how hard that is? Do we understand how transformative an athlete has to be? Michael Phelps, Serena Williams, Simone Biles, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. That's not to say Lamar isn't great. Listen, we could do a whole show about some of the greatest athletes in the world, and none of them will be in the conversation for greatest ever. Like we've got to be, and listen, I'd rather John Harbaugh do that than do what Belichick did at the end with Brady, where it was Tom's birthday or something. He was like, yeah, it's also like the backup, left guard's birthday too. It's like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. He can't give Tom anything. Like, to me, you need to be, I'd rather be closer to the John Harbaugh in terms of praising your quarterback on the spectrum, kind of where Andy Reid is with Mahomes. Like Andy Reid will coach Mahomes hard. Talk to any Chiefs or Eagles player from the past, Andy coaches hard. And so, but this is lunacy. So, and by the way, even if Lamar gets to at least 5 Super Bowl rings, he's going to get to 10 Super Bowls. Brady's been to 10 Super Bowls, which is obviously a record. Mahomes been to 4. We'll see if he gets to 10. That will be insane if he does. But that is an absurd statement. It'd be one thing if you said, greatest quarterback in the history of the Ravens. He wins the Super Bowl, he is. Now, the Ravens haven't been around for that long. They were an expansion franchise in the 90s, and obviously we Joe Flacco's on that. You could argue Lamar's past it, but Joe Flacco did win a Super Bowl. Obviously, Trent Dilfer, God bless him, but that was about the Ravens defense back in 2000. So Lamar could very well be that when his career's over. He very well could win a Super Bowl. That is an insane statement. And so, kudos John Harbaugh. I think the guy's a top 5 coach in the league, but holy moly, that is delulu. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube, and be sure to go click that big red subscribe button and check out the other clips and full shows from Carving It Up Live, as well as our other incredible content creators here on the Grid Network.